Yesterday, Ohtani's Dodgers got crushed by his former team, the Angels, as the Dodgers left out poor Bobby Miller to just eat pitch after pitch after pitch. The Yankees, they went down by a zillion versus the Rangers, but Giancarlo Stanton, if this baseball leaves, it could be a brand new ball game. I didn't even know that Tommy Pham was a Royal. He showed off the elite exit velos against the first place Guardians. The Cubs, they have a budding superstar on their hands, and Mets fans, they're still blown away that they lost him for like 2 months of Javier Baez. And please, let's have a prayer circle around Bryce Harper, who was hitting the elbow, and it did not look good. So we'll talk about all of that and more in today's MLB Recap. And don't forget that Recap is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use code Fuzzy to save 20 bucks off all of your tickets. And also, Recap is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, my favorite daily fantasy app. Football is officially back. They have promos everywhere. You have a 30% boost token for today. You have vulture protection. So the running backs like Isaiah Pacheco as well as Derrick Henry, I mean, they're fully protected with the vulture token. If you have not downloaded Underdog Fantasy, today is the best day to do so. Football's back. You get a $1,000 bonus cash credit. Also, by the way, there's a free Travis Kelce pick'em. Just use my code Fuzzy. So real quick, before we talk about the Giants contract, I always seem to talk about the Marlins or the Nationals last, so they're going first today. Mackenzie Gore, he was at his best through 5, and I mean his best. 5 perfect frames to kickstart this game with a bunch of strikeouts like this one. His 7th strikeout, and then he tried to paint a 3-2 curveball. Ball 4, the perfect game is over. What a take from the rookie, Griffin Conine, and there goes the no-no. What about the shutout? Conine, he's chugging, and he's in there, so there goes the shutout as well. Nick Fortes has an RBI double. Now, McKenzie did bounce back. He had back-to-back strikeouts to end his night, so 9 strikeouts over 6. By the way, the rookie for the Marlins, Valente Beozo, he kept Washington off the board, and then he went up 2 after an Otto Lopez RBI double. But the bullpen freaking ruined the kid's gem. A bases-loaded walk was followed by an RBI chopper. That resets the score, and then James Wood, he puts this game out of reach. He jolts an RBI the other way. But wait, 2.6 seconds later, the Marlins tied it. I lied to you guys. Jake Berger, he ties it with an RBI single, and they call this guy X. Xavier Edwards, he walks it off. He's batting .341 on the season. Matt Chapman has officially gotten his bag, a 6-year, $151 million contract extension, so that's $25 million a season until 2023. On the year, he's got 33 doubles, 22 home runs, a 121 OPS plus, and 7 outs above average, and the best part is, his sprint speed has gone up every single season since 2020. He's aging backwards. So because they just extended Matt Chapman, they're probably not going to give money to Blake Snell because he's going to require a lot of cash. I hope that they make a few big splashes because the Giants, they're close to being pretty good. There's a lot of good rookies on that team. Now, let's see what the Giants did yesterday, shall we? Aside from Lamont Wade Jr., absolutely no one showed up on offense. Josh Bell had an RBI right before discount Aaron Judge kept on raking. Eugenio Suarez now has 24 home runs, but check this out. He's batting .305 with 18 home runs and 53 RBIs his last 51 games. Those are like road to the show stats. Pavin Smith, he cracked one out as well. It is not easy to go that far to that part of the park in San Francisco. Zach Gallen, he was nails minus a few walks. He ended the 5th with a strikeout, so that's 10 consecutive hitters retired. He did have a walk in the 6th inning, but he erased it with a double play, and then he got his 8th strikeout, so 6 shutty, 8 strikeouts, no base hits allowed. The first few hits for San Francisco came off of Kevin Ginkel. Tyler Fitzgerald had a single, and then Lamont had a 2-run moon bomb. What is going on with Camilo Doval? He imploded again. Corbin, he secures a 14-game hit streak on that RBI infield single. It's really nice to see him showing off all the tools again. Lamont, again, aside from him, no one showed up. He had 4 RBIs to make it feel closer, but the Diamondbacks have won 2 in a row, while the Giants have lost 4 in a row. The Padres are going to try and go for their 3rd W in a row, and it's going to be tough because the Tigers, they've been playing some sneaky good baseball the last month, pretty much led by rookies. Yu Darvish, he's finally back from some off-the-field stuff. Matt Vierling welcomed him back with a 2-run home run. He's got 16 home runs and a 110 OPS plus. The Tigers went up by 4. Dylan Dingler, who's a rookie, had an RBI chopper. Another rookie, Colt Keith, he dropped in an RBI flare, and the rookies were not done. Trey Sweeney, his 2nd career home run, and when I said that the rookies were not done, I kind of meant for both teams. After Trey hit a 2-run home run, Jackson hit a 3-run home run to left field. He's got 22 long balls with a crazy 128 OPS plus, and by the way, he just set the record with 82 RBIs. That's the most ever by a San Diego rookie. Manny, he completed the comeback in the 5th inning. He drives in a pair. Both Manny and Jackson deserve so much credit because they have been elite since the start of June. Now we head to extras, and there was a clean top of the 10th, and Nando, he walks it off. He sends San Diego into a frenzy. They do pick up their 3rd W in a row, and they stay stay ahead of the Diamondbacks in the standings. Wait. How did I forget to mention this in the intro? I forgot there was a literal no-no, a no-hitter. Now, it was a 3-pitcher combined no-no, so not as cool, but it's still a nice feat. The offense for the Cubs went bananas as well, with Pete Crow Armstrong and Ian Happ knocking in a few RBIs early on. I think Ian's was a 2-run single. Dansby, a few weeks ago, I said that he was stealing money, and he was, but he must have heard me. He took it personally. A .310 batting average with 12 extra base hits and 23 RBIs over his last 25 games. Pete Crow Armstrong, this kid rakes. Mets fans are so sad that they lost out on a generational defender, and that's not hyperbole, by the way. He could be Kevin Kiermaier out there. He's 26 of 27 in stolen base attempts, and he's batting .320 his last 30 games. He's a potential 5-tool superstar in the making. By the way, this was all off of Domingo Germán. Shota, he wants back in on the Rookie of the Year talks. Hold on, the Cubs were not done scoring. Swanson, his second RBI extra base hit. Pete's third RBI. Now it's 11-0 because Cody Bellinger left everything. He's got 15 home runs and a 109 OPS plus, a far cry from 26 home runs and a near 140 OPS plus last year. Okay, now we can talk about Shota, who went 7 no-hit frames with 7 punchies. His ERA is back under 3. He came out after 95 pitches. Chicago, I guess they want to preserve that arm just in case they make a wild card push. The Cubs fans were booing Nate Pearson. I get it, but he's still locked in. A no-hit 8th inning, and obviously I spoiled it already. Porter Hodge, he does complete the 9-inning combined no-hitter. The Cubs, that's a big-time W. The Cubs are 7-3 over their last 10, but they can't gain any ground because the Mets have won 7 games in a row. Francisco Lindor, he has a 15-game hit streak. They were chanting MVP at him. The bases ended up loading for Jesse Winker. That's his second Grand Slam of the season. He's the first guy since 2019 to have 2 Grand Slams in one season, and doing so on 2 separate squads. Now, I'll show this for Boston fans because Jaron has 44 doubles. He started a mini rally, only to have Kenley Jansen implode later in the game. He walked 3 in 1 inning. Then the 97-year-old dinosaur Rich Hill kept the trend going. He walked 2 with the bases loaded, so it's 7-3 New York. As Harrison Bader ended the scoring for either team with a sac fly. Edwin Diaz, he got some late non-save action. He strikes out 2 with the game ending on a 100-mile-per-hour fastball past JD Martinez. And the Red Sox have lost 5 in a row. Well, we already spoiled it. The Mets have won 7 in a row. Is this the day? Is this the day that the Braves lose and the Mets finally surpass them in the wild card? And nope, Ludacris was in the building. He was having some fun. And then Matt Olson and Jared Kelenic, they won the game in the first inning. Matt, he peppered an RBI double to score Ozuna. And then Jared Kelenic blasted off for a 3-run home run to the Chop House. That's his 14th home run, but he still has a lot of work to do because he has a paltry 283 on base percentage, only 28 walks in 123 games. Now, the Rockies did get a little bit of momentum going with a Sam Hilliard RBI triple. Chuck Nasty followed it up with a double, so an easy RBI to score Sam, but it's all good because Michael Harris and Jorge Soler, they got one of those runs back. Harris, he doubled and then used that blazing speed to give Soler an RBI. Rizzo got his 30th save. He ends it with a strikeout. He has now completed 20 consecutive outings without allowing a run. With this W over the Rockies, the Braves, they're just doing it. They're a half game ahead of the surging Mets, who again have won 7 in a row. We talked about the Red Sox kind of reeling. They've lost 5 games in a row now. Good thing they play the White Sox. But then again, the White Sox are now undefeated since Grady Sizemore got ejected and fired up his troops. And they didn't just beat the Orioles, they embarrassed them. Nicky Lopez, he was put on waivers. And you guys are awesome. You informed me that even if you're put on waivers, you can still play. I thought it was a full-blown release. Nope, you can play until you're claimed. That's the first of the year for Nicky. Mr. Henderson has done this a lot. 35 home runs on the season. That is history. That is the most by a Baltimore shortstop. Question for the next 10 years. Would you rather have Gunnar Henderson or Bobby Witt Jr.? Andrew Vaughn just deleted a baseball. That's only the second home run allowed on a changeup by Albert Suarez all year long. Dominic Fletcher, the 5'6" short king with a 2-run home run. You guys know I'm like 5'8", maybe 5'9" on a good day, so anytime a short king goes off, I'm loving it. Luis Robert Jr., he roped an RBI double to end Albert Suarez's night, and then Luis made a sick grab to rob Cedric of at least 2 bases. I don't know if that would have left. He helped Jonathan Cannon go 5 1/3 on just 1 run allowed against the mighty Orioles. Janine Sosa drove in an RBI, and that's pretty much the game. The White Sox, they ended up winning 8-9. What? What did my brain just do? 8-1. Yankees fans are now licking their chop. They can regain the top spot in the East. Well, Rangers fans are licking their chops because they get to face Marcus Stroman. Judge, he's not been playing a great center field this year, and that's kind of understating it. He has a -5 outs above average. The speed is decreased as well. He's not a center fielder. That ball had a 95% catch probability. Former Yankee prospect Ezekiel Duran, he jolted an RBI double, and then later in the fourth, Wyatt Langford hurt the Yankees again. He got to second base. The dude is fast, despite the fact that he's like 230 pounds and yoked. He showed off the speed again. He took full advantage of Juan Soto in right field. It was a nice throw, but you still got to slide on that, Wyatt. I would do that next time. Soto said, enough exposing me on defense. I'm going to do things that you can't. How in the world did he hit that ball out? It was like 8 feet off the plate. I think Seattle is the only stadium left that Juan Soto has not homered in. Adolis and the Rangers weren't phased at all. That is a 2-run extra base hit down the line. Then there was a wild pitch. You have Zeke Duran and Wyatt Langford both securing multi-RBI nights. Wyatt got the scoring for Texas into double digits, and wait for his insane web gem. Oh, Trent Grisham, he makes it 10-6. So the Yankees are trying to make a comeback, and in steps Giancarlo Stanton with the runners on. He scorched one, but Wyatt Langford, he's showing why he's a top 1% athlete already in the game of baseball. He steals a potential 3-run home run. The dude is going to be a megastar. The Yankees have lost 2 games in a row. They're only 22-20 in the second half. What do you think their odds are of winning the World Series? The Rangers were not the only team in the West who put up 10+ runs. The Angels beat the Dodgers 10-1. What the heck happened? I'll tell you what happened. Bobby Miller, he's having a sophomore slump we rarely see, and I just kind of feel bad for him at this point. Anthony Rendon, he collected 2 RBIs after Miller lost full command, and Mickey Moniak, he used Bobby's velocity against him. He caught up to the 98 fastball, and sheesh, 440 feet for a 3-run home run. He's got 10 home runs and an 830 OPS since late June. Nico Cavadas, he sent out his second career tater. He's been struggling, so it's nice to see him put one out. Bobby, he was not happy with himself. And the Dodgers kind of just said, hey, go eat innings, please, just like they did a few days ago with Justin Robleski. Taylor Ward appreciates Bobby staying in. He's got a 14-game hit streak, and Bobby has now allowed 15 home runs and 43 earned runs in 49 innings this year. Joe Adell and Taylor Ward, they kept tacking on run after run, both on RBI singles. And then Zach Neto, he made it that fat 10 spot. That's the first time the Halos have scored 10 since July 30th. Griffin Canning, I'll tip my cap to him. He had 7 strikeouts, but the story was the offense. You thought the blowouts were over? We have a 12-run game and then a 16-run game. Spencer Arrighetti was actually Spencer Spaghetti. He provided all the meatballs. Jonathan India launched a solo home run, his 14th of the season. Ellie, he can crawl home on this TJ Friedl RBI double to left center. The newcomers, they played a big role in this game. Ty France and Ahmed Rosario, they teamed up, and Ahmed got blessed. Jeremy Pena usually makes that play, and that sucks for Spencer because they scored that a 2-run single, and I think that might get changed to an error later in the year if Spencer does choose to appeal. The wheels fell off as Ellie chopped one into right for a 2-run knock, and yeah, Spencer's out the game now. Taylor Scott's in. By the way, I think that Ellie now has 20 games with an extra base hit and stolen base. That's the most ever by a Red. Tyler Stevenson, he wanted 2 RBIs as well, so 9 earned runs are credited to Spencer Arrighetti, which is just brutal. Tyler Stevenson made it double digits and scores Ellie again. TJ Friedl, he's another Red with 2 or more RBIs. Spencer Steer got blessed. I don't know what Shea Wickham was doing, taking his sweet time. Spencer Steer can kind of move. He beats it out for an RBI single. Singleton, he homered later on to cap 5 runs for the Astros, but it's not 13, so they lost as the Reds have won 3 games in a row. And would you look at this? The Mariners finally gained a game on the Astros, and they scored 16 runs. Now, I do got to show Lawrence Butler real quick because that right there is a 14-game hit streak and history. 9 consecutive games with an extra base hit. No one has ever done that in Oakland A's history. Brent Rooker, this dude is a machine. 94 RBIs and a 169 OPS plus. He drives in Butler. From there, the Mariners, they made it rain versus JP Sears and co. If Mitch Garver can keep doing this and J-Rod snaps out of it, I mean, I do like the Mariners because that pitching staff is ridiculous. There's Mitch again, 3 RBIs before the 5th inning. George Kirby got a few more, and man, was he nasty. 9 strikeouts, no walks. That's, of course, what Kirby always does. He doesn't walk anyone over 6 innings. The control is insane. He has a career 1.1 walks per 9. He's done after 6, unlike his offense. Luis Urias sent one out. That was the only run that the Mariners scored on a home run. J-Rod, he turned on the Jets for an infield RBI single. Randy, I don't know what that swing was. It was an emergency swing, and it worked out for a 2-run double, and they just kept on rolling. Robles, a legit 2-run double. This was not against a positional player. He's got 17 extra base hits and 18 stolen bases in 59 games. Garver, he makes it a 4 RBI day. Same with Luis Urias. So the Mariners put up a fat 16 spot. They are 5.5 games back of the Astros, so they still got some work to do. J-Ram's RBI single was all she wrote for Cleveland scoring. scoring, and it was only a matter of time before the Royals snapped that 7-game losing streak. Ben Lively, he's finally come back down to earth, which sucks because, no BS, he saved Cleveland's season after Bieber went down. He was disgusting. Michael Massey tied it, and yes, that is Tommy Pham. I guess I missed him being claimed by the Royals. I audibly said a few days ago, is that Tommy Pham when he stepped in? That was a 423-foot 3-run demolition job. Seth Lugo got some help on this double play. Bobby Wood Jr. threw a seed to first, and then, he completed 7 innings with a beauty of a curveball. Bubic, she was disgusting out the pen, 3 strikeouts, and Kwan was one of them. Kwan went from hitting 320 to 290 in 19 games. He's batting 130 since August 16th. Lucas Erceg, he's been a really nice pickup. The Royals are back to 4.5 games of first place. The Twins were taking on the Rays, and man, rookie Louis Varland got beat up in the 4th inning to a tune of 8 runs in 1 frame. Brandon Lau, he scored on the bad pickoff move, and here's another miscue. Cam Minero, he's safe at home on the bobble and a bad throw. Jose Caballero, that's an RBI single, like an actual RBI, and I cannot believe this. Is this the sloppiest inning in Twins history? Another mistake. The walls are fully crumbling, and yes, that was full pun intended because Taylor Walls, he went up the middle for 2 RBIs. So did Yandy Diaz, but his went much, much further. Yandy is hitting .310 over his last 65 games, so that early season slump is officially in the rearview mirror. Minnesota got a few home on a Kyle Farmer home run, and then Carlos Santana after a Larnach double. He hit his 20th home run. He's got 9 seasons with 20 or more home runs. They got 1 more off the bat of Matt Wallner. That is the first career run scored for Michael Hellman. I wanted to show that, but Tampa, they take it 9-4 after Wall's 3rd RBI. This one was a sac fly. So Minnesota and Kansas City are tied again at 4.5 games back of the Guardians. We got some bases loaded action to start off this Cardinals and Brewers game. Ivan Herrera, he just let Colin Ray do all of it. He takes ball 4, so it's 1-zip, and Lars took a walk as well. They just let Colin Ray implode. Now, remember a few years ago when Justin Turner kind of mocked Mason Wynn throwing 100 miles an hour in the Futures game, and he just was showing off? Well, check this out. He showed off the arm all right. Siani, he dropped it. They tossed in the relay, and Mason Wynn unleashed a rocket throw to keep it scoreless. How about that, Justin Turner, you freaking hater? Obviously, I'm being a little bit dramatic. Sonny Gray was grateful. He was fantastic over 6 shutout, but the Brewers, they did get to him in the 7th inning as Garrett Mitchell, he turned on the burners. He's super fast. He got to 3rd base for a triple, and because he's that fast, there was no attempt at home. Joey Ortiz gets the RBI chopper, and after Gray completed 7 innings with 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, Eric Haas, first pitch swinging, we are tied 440 feet. My goodness, this game needed extras, and Lucan, he extended his streak. Lucan Baker now has an RBI in 6 straight games, and Ryan Fernandez, he looked like prime Dylan Betances. He strikes out the side. The Cardinals have won 2 in a row, but they're 5.5 games back of the wild card because every single wild card team won yesterday. No, this is not a rerun of the 3 home run game from Schwarber. He hit another leadoff home run, so he ties Alfonso Soriano for the most leadoff home runs in one season with 13. By the way, for his career, he has 44 leadoff home runs. Please put a prayer circle around the 2-timer Bryce Harper. He took a hit by pitch to the funny bone. And why do they call it the funny bone? Is it literally just because it's the humorous bone? I know there's some doctors who watch. Is that it? Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has been backpacking the Jays all year. That is his 40th double. He ties it at 1. Alejandro Kirk, he then stole the lead, so back-to-back doubles from the Jays. And Rogers' son stole the lead back in Rogers Center. Cody Clemens, I despise his swing. I don't like his leg kick at all. It looks goofy, but hey, he's in the big leagues. I'm sitting at home recording him hitting home runs. Christopher Sanchez kept the Jays off the board. He struck out 7 over 7, but I'm going to skip to JT with his 12th home run. His blocking skills have really regressed this year. If you're a Phillies fan, let me know what the heck is going on with JT. Is it like a health issue, a lingering something, a little bothersome side issue? I don't know what it is. Carlos Estevez now has 24 saves between the Angels and the Phillies. The Phillies, they're back to being themselves. They've won 4 in a row. Well, everyone, that wraps up today's MLB recap. I really appreciate all the support lately. You guys have been crushing it. Remember, football's back, so use code Fuzzy on Underdog Fantasy. If you're going to any last-minute concerts or baseball games, code Fuzzy on SeatGeek will save you $20 off. Enjoy the web gems. Have a great day.
Zach Gallen on the mound. That was a foul ball, we think. Steve, I'm going to say that's going to...
Oh, what a play! He fights this off to shallow center field, but...
Ball hit pretty hard. Chaz on the run, makes a
diving play to Young. To his feet, 2 out.
Ooh, bouncer across the bag. Williams, great throw. Liner to center. Perkins makes the catch with it. Oh, up over his shoulder, and it's picked by Bogart. Flip to second for 1 on to first. Not in.
Ball, Rendon, a diving stop, gets up, has time, and with the bounce throw,